How we doing? Thank you for tapping in. This is James H. Cam with another episode of the James H. Cam Show. Episode number 2. We back. So if you missed the first episode, last episode we had Asia Coppin Ali on a platform, and she talked about building wealth through stock trading. She's a retired female engineer. Go on my YouTube channel and check out that full episode there. But what I want to talk about today is being rich versus being wealthy. Now, I know it's a common misconception about being rich versus being wealthy. We all grew up, not all of us, but most of us grew up with the idealism of we want to be rich. We want to be rich. I just want to be, I don't want to struggle. And if you didn't come from struggle, you want to keep the lifestyle going. You want to be able to pay for whatever you want. You want to be able to afford the lifestyle. But what does it actually mean to be rich? And is it worth being rich? Or do you want to be wealthy? Now, coming from the environment I come from, I'm from Jamaica, Queens. Now, our examples of being rich was flashy cars or the jewelry or what we see. And pretty much society, if you're a millennial coming from the era I'm coming from, if you look at the celebs or the rap stars, you look at things as far as a definition or measuring stick about being rich. But let's talk about wealth. Wealth is when you're sleeping, you're making money. Wealth is when you have acquired skill sets or put in systems in place that build money for you over time. Generational wealth. That's one of the hot topics right now. People are talking about building generational wealth. Now, what are some of the channels that you can build those in? Some of the popular channels people talk about: real estate, stocks, entrepreneurship, things of that nature. But let's really take a deep dive into it. Let's talk about real estate. Now, what does wealth in real estate look like? The way you become wealthy is in real estate is you have to acquire assets. Now, there's different paths in which you can do so. You can acquire assets that cash flow you every single month. So that means that you get a paycheck from tenants every single month. You don't even have to think about it on the first, and then on the 5th or 6th with the late payments, you get paid automatically. It's on autopilot. That's when you're cash flowing assets. Another way to accrue wealth through real estate is if you're flipping assets. So you buy something for low, add value, sell it for higher. That's flipping homes, what people commonly call that. You can also dive into commercial real estate. So commercial real estate where you have people lease out your properties and pay you again, cash flowing every month. Or you can flip larger commercial assets. You can own things like self-storage businesses, which is still a form of entrepreneurship because you own an asset, but you don't exactly have tenants that live in your properties. They just cash flow you every month through rent. Let's talk about building wealth through the stock market. What does that look like? Building wealth through the stock market means that you're buying and holding. So you're buying things for the low, holding them. You might have some dividend stocks that pay you dividends, that pay you to hold those stocks. But at the same time, you're building wealth because the value is going up over time with the stocks that you've built in your portfolio. Now, until you sell, you don't exactly cash out from those stocks, but your net worth is going up. So you can probably use that net worth to leverage you to be able to afford other things. If you look wealthier on paper, now you can go get approved for a loan to go buy a business or go buy some real estate or go do other things. You can also build wealth through flipping stocks, so to speak. So you can have trading, day trading, which you buy and selling stocks, commodities. You're buying and selling it within the same day frame. You can also buy contracts. You can flip contracts in stocks. You can buy and sell them daily, weekly. You can do swing trading where you're holding it for a little bit longer, a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then you sell those contracts as well. You can build wealth that way. The real goal here is not to be rich. You can be rich and blow it. We see the stories all the time. The real goal is to be wealthy. Now let's talk about a wealthy mindset, because before you ever start making your first dollar, you have to have the right mindset. Quick question. How many times have you known somebody that's gotten a lump sum of money, had 100 bands, had $100,000, had liquid money, and they blew it? It's because their mindset wasn't in the right frame to sustain that richness, to turn it into true wealth. Now let's talk about what a wealthy mindset looks like. A wealthy mindset looks like living beneath your means. A wealthy mindset looks like you're staying curious. You're knowing how to invest your money. And the most important thing for me that I've learned the hard way through failure, the most important thing to have a wealthy mindset is to be patient. Yes, to be patient. You have to be patient when acquiring and building wealth. That was my biggest mistake early on. I just seen the startup investors that started companies and hit it big. We all know about the great stories, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the people who were rich at a young age and they started a company and it went on to have this $1 billion valuation. But in reality, what we're not told is the average person that has wealth that didn't come from inheritance or didn't come from I'm starting with mommy money, the average person that has wealth built something and let it marinate over time and build up. Now, if you have an exit strategy over time that you build up enough value within it that you sell it later, that's fine. But get cash positive inside of whatever hustle you have and build it over time. What I recommend people is very simple. Think about the lawn care guy. You know, this is a cash flowing business. If you're thinking if you're getting, $500 a weekend or $500 a day off of, mowing lawns. Uh, if you think about building fences, that's one hustle that's not really looked at. If you think about building fences, you can outsource the majority of that labor, but you give somebody an estimate, $2,000-$3,000, depending on the market you're in, to build fences. That's $3K in a weekend, minus material, minus labors, minus whatever costs you might incur. But that's going to be a slow way to build wealth over time. Now, don't take that money and think that this is money, come up money. Take the money and save the money, reinvest the money, but also find ways to get into the mindset of I have to store this to build wealth over time. I love the Hove quote. Those who don't know who Hove is, that's Jay-Z. The street school is to spend our money foolish, bond with jewelers and watch for intruders. And it's so real because we come from environments that they school us to spend our money foolish. Like we really just want to have that quick satisfaction of saying, yo, I made it. I came up. I'm good now. I have this watch or I have this chain or I have this car to represent my wealth. But once you buy those things, it's not bringing you anything else. Now, if you take that same money and you go park it in something safer that's going to guarantee a return, you go park it inside of an index fund, you go put it in the S&P 500, you go put it in things, you go put it in some real estate, and you get the mentors and you get the skill set in order to build this wealth over time and don't pull it out prematurely, you're going to get there. So next time you think about being rich versus being wealthy, which one is really important? I want you to jump in the comment section right now and say, what would you rather be, rich or wealthy? I got asked something about my big brother. Shout out to Lee. I got asked something about my big brother years ago. And he asked me, would you rather have it and lose it or not have it at all? And at that time, I was like, yo, I'd rather have it and lose it because at least I could prove to myself that, you have the ability to get it. But really now looking in life, I'd rather not have it at all because that means I wasn't ready for it. If I had it and lost it, that means that I didn't know what to do with it when I had it. I'd rather not have it at all because that doesn't mean that I won't get it. It doesn't mean that there won't be a possibility for me to actually have it later. It's just not my time yet. A lot of times, wherever we're at in life, we'll sit and think that, man, I got to do this to get it. I got to do this to get it. But don't compare yourself to nobody else. Everybody is going through something. Everybody is not where they want to be. Like everybody is chasing something else. So don't sit and compare to yourself to people on the internet thinking people have it all together. That's not the case. Hustle your hustle, work your path, and believe in your process because your train is always on time. Okay, let's put some practicality to this video. I don't want this to be a motivational video. Oh, I feel good, man. James made me feel good. Now let's get something from this video. Let's talk about this. Okay, how can I build wealth? If I'm starting from zero, I'm starting from nothing. How can I build wealth? I'm gonna give you a true step-by-step plan of the slow route to build wealth. One, go get a job. Don't listen to people that sit and talk about, oh, job, this, a job. Man, go get a job. Now, get a job because you need a stable income. Got to make a living for yourself today to get some breathing room. Also, you might have to pay some startup costs for some things. Go get a job. Another reason I'm a fan of a job is you become a W-2 employee. Now, when you're a W-2 employee, traditional financing will lend you money. Now, what you do with that money is up to you, but they will lend you money, which can also be your startup money to be an investment. So go get a job. Now, after you get a job, go get a hustle. And when I say a hustle, it doesn't have to be anything illegal. Go get a hustle as in something that is outside of your job that you can go and you can labor, and you can get a return on your time. Now, this can be simple. Don't think so hard. This can be very simple. If you go become a part-time barber, go find a need and solve the problem. You could, like I said, you can do barbering, you can do landscaping, you can, build fences, you can do trash pickup. You can go find apartment complexes that need trash pickup. You can offer them a VIP trash concierge service where you just come and pick up everybody's trash when they put it outside and you get paid, I don't know, $5, $10 a door. Think of something simple where you're just constantly bringing in a cash flowing business. Now you take that money and do your research, get you some mentors. Now you don't have to personally know these mentors. You can find people online that you read their content, that you listen to their content, get you some mentors and say, okay, cool. Now that I've built up this money, I'm a W-2 employee. Do I need to fix my credit? You might need to fix your credit. You might need to get your debt to income ratio down so you can get approved for these lenders. Now that you have the job, you have the hustle, now you have the mentors, get the knowledge. Now go out and build wealth the slow way. Just understand that this is a slow grind. That's why you have the job. That's why you have the cash flow and hustle. Now, if you get your hustle up to a certain point, quit the job. As long as you can afford the insurance or whatever your lifestyle that you're running, quit the job. Let your hustle replace it. Hire some employees. Scale your business. You become a real legitimate entrepreneur, but off a simple hustle, Then go out and acquire some assets. Now you go buy a house. Don't buy the house for you to live in that you just found your dream house. Now go take your money and invest it in a multi-family dwelling. Now allow people to pay you money to rent it out from you. At the same time, you have something coming in extra after the mortgage is cleared because you have multiple units. One unit can pay for the mortgage and the other 2, 3, 4 could just be money inside of your pocket. But you have to go get in that mindset and put yourself in position to go attack that. Now you have the business coming in, you have the job money coming in, you have a cash flowing asset through the real estate coming in. Go learn about stock trading. Or you can just go park your money in stocks that pay you dividends. Now you can get dividends, which is going to be a check to you for holding these stocks long term. So now you have extra income coming in. After you sit and look back and you say, I'm not rich, I'm wealthy, because now I have assets. You're playing the long game. Be patient. Trust your process, trust your hustle, and take your losses like you take your wins. I hope you got value from this, man. I really enjoyed it. Follow me at James H. Cam on Instagram, on Twitter, jameshcameron.com for everything I got going on. Follow me on Clubhouse. I changed my name. It's not James H. Cam no more. Now I have the name Assets. So follow me on Clubhouse at Assets. And as always, stay hustling, my friends. Talk to you soon.